This season, season 18, and this is going to be a precursor. This is going to kind of be a teaser of everything that we're going to talk about. What you see online is not always the reality. High performers have a habit of going 100 miles an hour, and if we don't put up clear boundaries, that includes ourselves, if we don't set those boundaries, we are going to burn out. People who stay consistent will win long term. Hey everyone, John here. Welcome to the episode today. Does it seem like your best talent leaves no matter what the pay, no matter what the benefits are? In fact, you may be that good talent out there and you've left an organization. Why is that? In this season, we're going to talk about why boundaries matter, why boundaries matter as a leader, why boundaries matter as a business owner, and if you're an employee out there and you're a high performer, why boundaries matter to you. So let's get into the content. This season, season 18, and this is going to be a precursor. This is going to kind of be a teaser of everything that we're going to talk about. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click on that bell, leave a comment below if you got a question around why boundaries matter. This season, we're going to unpack all of that. And in this episode, we're going to first talk about why work-life boundaries matter. And right here, I want to think it was after COVID. And prior to COVID, we had work-life balance. We talked about it. It was discussed. There was even maybe some practices and institutions like Google. They had the sleep pods and they had communal kind of working areas and, their conference room. So that work-life balance was there. They had great cafeterias. I know here in Oklahoma City, a lot of our population corporations are energy, and Chesapeake Energy was one of them. I was able to go train out there a couple times and they had a training academy. It was great. So work-life balance was a thing. But after the pandemic, work-life balance meant more than just going to work and having balance. It meant being away from work. And in this particular example, how do we accomplish that? Well, boundaries. So when we take a look at it, research supports that increased burnout happens because of no boundaries. Increased turnover in organizations occur because the leader or the organization doesn't have any boundaries. For those of you that have company phones, does it ring even after hours? Does it ring on the weekends? If you're not working weekends or at nights, late at night, do you feel like you got to carry that thing around? I know at one time I had two phones and I carried them both around. I put one in my pocket, back pocket, and one in my front pocket. I didn't leave home without either one of them. And what I quickly found out was that wasn't a good boundary. So in this particular segment, in the corresponding episodes in this season, we're going to assess your boundaries. We're going to have some questions. We're going to have some episodes that are going to require you to take a look at how you are currently, your current state, how you're leading, how you're managing your business, how you're even managing yourself if you're an employee of one of these companies. Are your boundaries something that you can build on? Now, even the most successful person, you can look at examples of very influential CEOs or people that are out there in the media, and it seems like they're always working, but I can promise you they have boundaries. What you see online is not always the reality. We see people in suits, people leading meetings, people out there working. But I always have this saying, you work hard to play hard. And by identifying and assessing what our boundaries look like in the current state will give us a foundation of where to work. So we're going to talk about some practical strategies. As always, this is an active listening podcast. So be ready because those strategies you're going to be able to apply today. The next big topic area that we're going to talk about is why boundary setting can be a superpower. And again, boundaries are a retention strategy. We think that this availability 24/7, like people like that. I will tell you that's not true. I find that employees, they appreciate their time away from work. When they leave work, they appreciate it. One good example of this was when we were in that telework, don't go into the office state. A lot of companies struggled. The IT infrastructure wasn't there to support maybe a VPN portal or some of the applications that we were using. Maybe at home, our home offices or our home environment wasn't set up. Once that became a reality, and once that became the norm, then what happened? Now we got to go back into the office. A lot of organizations recalled their employees back into the office. And when we talk about setting up boundaries, people now, they leave their computers at work. They don't bring them home anymore. They leave them at work. And that was something that we saw prior to COVID. Now, I'm going to age myself here because we had desktops back when I first started in a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses had desktops. So you couldn't take those home. As we migrated to a laptop environment, those were easier to take with us, especially if you traveled. Now, what we've done again is we got the laptop, but the laptop stays at work. Try it on. I want to take a quick break from the episode today to talk about a couple things. The first thing, less than 40% of our listeners are subscribed to our channel. You would be doing me a huge favor if you click on that subscribe button. It helps us grow our Go Be Great community and get this podcast out to as many people as we possibly can. The second thing, are you a small business owner that is drowning in the day-to-day operations? You're delegating tasks and you're still doing all the work. You're experiencing a high turnover. Maybe you don't have the systems and processes in place that you need to run a successful business. I invite you to go over to bjohnespinosa.com, fill out the form to see if you're the right fit. Now back to the episode. That's an example of having that boundary as a superpower. And I want you to begin to think about setting boundaries, clear boundaries, because that equals trust. It's going to build trust. It's going to build autonomy, and it's going to build this long-term satisfaction. Today, when I was journaling about this particular topic, I was like, you know what? People are happier. In organizations and with leaders that I work that have clear boundaries, people are trusted that they're going to get all the work done. They won't have to have that midnight call on where something's at. They're going to have more autonomy because they know when they're out of work, they're out of work. And they're going to lead, it's going to lead to long-term satisfaction, which in the end, that's how we retain our high performers. High performers have a habit of going 100 miles an hour. And if we don't put up clear boundaries, that includes ourselves. If we don't set those boundaries, we are going to burn out. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So let's talk about why setting boundaries can be our superpower. And we're going to talk about strategies to set clear boundaries when it comes to your availability as a leader, and that is going to model the environment in your organizations and within your businesses. So that's the second one, boundary setting as a superpower. We're going to have several episodes on that. We're going to unpack how you can have that superpower as well. And then last, implementing boundaries that work. And for here, these are active strategies. We're going to talk about actual active strategies that you can apply immediately that are going to better not only your work-life balance, but your organization's work-life balance. And we're going to teach you how to stay consistent. Consistency is one of those things that if people see us remain consistent, people who stay consistent will win long-term. They can even outlast the people that have high skill. So in this particular segment, when we talk about implementing those boundaries that work, staying consistent is going to be a key aspect on implementation and then how we sustain these boundaries. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about how you as a leader can address pushback or resistance from your team, because there are going to be situations, especially if you start setting up these boundaries. I'm here at work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm available whether I'm here or not. After 6 p.m., the phone's down. That's family time, that's self-development time, that's me time, whatever you got. Break it into chunks. And we're going to talk about some strategies, again, that really center around blocks of unavailability. We talk about availability all the time. We schedule our calendars. We put blocks in when we're working. Now we're going to talk about blocks of unavailability. I'm excited about this season and the theme that we have of boundaries, and it's going to help you boost retention. It's going to reduce burnout, and it's going to make sure that your organizations are operating at peak performance. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You're not going to want to miss any of these episodes this season. I believe in you. Go be great. Talk to everyone later. Bye-bye. If you like what you're hearing, do us a favor. Click on that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up or leave a comment. That lets us know that what we are putting out benefits you. If you want additional information or resources or learn how to work with me, head on over to thejohnespinosa.com, because when we become better versions of ourselves, it helps us get others to where they're going. Go be great. Talk to everyone later.